Okay, once you have all your devices assembled, it's time to get ready to put them in the autoclave. So each MMP can go in its own Pyrex dish. So we can take each of our 3 here for this experiment and put it in its own Pyrex dish. And then we also want to sterilize a couple of extra dishes for cleaning the setups after they come out of the autoclave. So we've got 3 dishes, each with its own MMP here, and 2 empty dishes. And then we've got our covers here in this dish on the side, and we can sterilize those covers separately. Each of these Pyrex dishes can get covered in aluminum foil, and then they can go into the autoclave. After removing your devices from the autoclave, allow them to cool until they are completely cool to room temperature. I have allowed these to cool overnight. Once each device has been removed from the autoclave and allowed to cool overnight, you need to tighten the screws of every device. So open up the dish containing one device, and go ahead and turn it over, and we want to tighten each screw down to the same tightness, and so you can use something like this device here, which is a torque screwdriver, to tighten each screw down to 3 inch-pounds, which you can see is what I have set this to here. So flip over the device inside its sterile dish, and then just tighten each screw down to 3 inch-pounds. Once each screw has been tightened, flip the device back over so that it is face up in its own dish, and recover it with its tin foil. And set it aside and tighten the screws on the rest of the devices for your experiment. Once you've tightened the screws on all your devices, it's time to get them ready to be filled. So you can line them all up like I have done here, and remove their covers. And then you just want to cover each device with whatever nutrient broth you will be using for your experiment. Here I have LB with 40 nanograms per milliliter of nitrofurantoin, and I'm just going to take it and pour it very gently into each of these dishes so that each device is totally covered. You'll need approximately 250 milliliters per device for this step, and once each device is completely covered in nutrient broth, just recover them with their aluminum foil cover. Once each device is covered in nutrient broth inside its own sterile dish, we want to take each of those dishes and place them inside a vacuum chamber so that the corridors and wells can all fill with no bubbles inside them at all. So we want to take each dish here and place it inside the vacuum chamber. And the vacuum chamber that we have here in the lab can hold 4 dishes at a time. But of course that may vary. And we can just load all 3 of them up here. So then we just start up the vacuum chamber here. Check to make sure the top has got good suction. And then once the devices are all under the vacuum, you just want to agitate them gently to help the bubbles come out of all of these wells and corridors here. And then we're going to leave it under the vacuum for 30 minutes. And we're going to do 3 rounds of 30 minutes each, with at least 30 minutes in between each round here. Once your devices have all gone through 3 rounds of 30 minutes each under the vacuum chamber, you can take them out of the media and clean them up. So to do this, first you'll want to tape their aluminum foil lids off, and then use a pair of sterile tongs to pull them out of the media. So you can just lift them very gently from the center like this. Allow the excess media to run off the top. And then just dip them very carefully, first into some sterile water, and then into some 70% ethanol, and that's just to clean the bottom and sides of any extra media that is on there. That right off there, and then you can lift it right out and set it at the back of the hood. And then just do the same thing with your other devices here. Let the extra media run off. Clean it in water. And then clean it in ethanol. Now finally, we're just going to use a sterile pipette tip to suction off any extra media that's sitting here on the top of our device, and we're going to clean the top here. So you can just run right over the top of the whole device with a sterile pipette tip. Suction any extra media right off the top here. Okay, and then once all the excess media has been sucked off the top of the plate, we're just going to use a sterile cotton swab dipped in 70% ethanol to just clean the top and sides of the plate of anything that's still on there. So I'll just run this right around the sides and across the top. So, and then our MMP is now filled with media, and we can set it aside and do that for the rest of our experiment.